Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Terry. So I think we can officially call the meeting to order. And Amanda, can we get a roll call, please?
Certainly. Board Member Alexander.
Here.
Board Member Sohi.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Ketchum.
Here.
Chairperson Harden.
Here.
4 present, 1 absent.
Perfect. Thanks, Amanda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
A second. Perfect. Can we get a roll call on that, Amanda, please?
Absolutely. Board Member Alexander.
Yes.
Board Member O'Malley. Oh, sorry, is absent. Board Member Sohi.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ketchum.
Yes.
And Chairperson Harden.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Perfect. Thank you. So now we can officially open the 30-minute public comment period. If anybody wishes to speak on any items, please state your name for the record and let us know. Are there any callers wishing to speak at this time? Okay. So I believe we can move on, correct, Amanda? And just keep it open? Okay.
Correct.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So then we can move on to item A, on the consent calendar. All right. Is there anybody that would like to pull an item for the consent calendar? From the board, sorry. Nope. Anyone from the public that would like to pull an item? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I move to approve.
And I'll second.
Perfect. Perfect. Amanda, can we get a roll call on that, please?
Certainly. Board Member Alexander.
Yes.
Board Member Sohi.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ketchum.
Yes.
Chairperson Harden.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Perfect. So next on the agenda are our business items, and we will roll right into the Central Coast Craft Beer Festival event recap and sponsorship with Andres. So it's all yours, Andres.
All right. So we were, Tony's on too. Tony, you there, right?
Yes, I'm here. How you guys doing?
All right. So we're excited to get to be able to host the Central Coast Craft Beer Festival after not being able to do it in 2020. Moving it into October didn't seem to dampen anything. We had the turnout we expected, and to turn it around this quickly is actually, for us, we believe is a good thing, because people had such a good time and we sold a lot of tickets that we believe that they're going to also repurchase tickets for our March 26th event this year as well. So so we're ready to roll. And so the guild, as you guys know, is comprised of independently owned craft breweries from Monterey, San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and Ventura counties. As of now, and this is a current number, I just did it. We have 57 breweries who are members at 77 different locations along the Central Coast. New breweries who are opening, either opened last year or opening this year, include Antigua Brewing, California Coast Brewing, Colony Mash, Cold Coast Brewing, and then there's a new brewery out called Culture House in Pismo Beach. And we also just ran across a new brewery that came, and I can't think of the name because it literally just opened. But we do have another brewery, so we're excited to include those breweries. And basically, the way it works is in 2019, when we took over this event to manage the event for the guild, Tony made a decision that to waive all fees for anybody who participates. And so normally breweries are paying $200 to join our guild. And now they're not having to pay anything because we're offsetting some of those costs with the money we raise. So in 2022, will once again have the Brewers Reception at Wildfields. We had it there last year. We outgrew City Hall. I think we were a little too rowdy for Terry at City Hall. So Wild Phil's gladly accepted us, and it worked out really good. We were able to spend some money there. Tony, I think that the final bill is somewhere around $2,000. So that was great for the guild to be able to buy food from a local brewery in Atascadero, but more importantly, a guild member, and help them out during kind of a tough stretch from 2020 to 2021. The event again is going to be at Famous Sunken Gardens, March 26th. We are expecting our largest turnout. So last time was our biggest one, but we've had a lot of different seltzer companies and ciders and wineries, kombucha companies ask us to join this year. So we are expecting around, I would say 60 to 70 different members, which is by far the biggest one. Last year was pretty big, but it's not going to be this big. It includes live entertainment. We're going to add Ghost Monster. It's going to be one of the bands this year. We really enjoyed having them at our Fall Fest. And so we have invited them to join us at Central Coast Craft Beer Festival. And right now we're working on that second band as well. Something that came about in 2019, heading into 2020, was Tony and the guild wanted to add more to this event other than it just being a beer festival on Saturday. So the Brewers Party is obviously a really fun thing to do on Friday, but we started the idea of a Friday night tap takeover, and these were the businesses that were going to be included during that. So we're hoping we can get that going in 2022. And basically the idea is they would put taps on from our guild members on Friday night. So for all those, we have a lot of people coming to town on Friday, not just brewers, but actually guests that are here on Friday. We want them to go out into town and go find some good beers and spend money locally. So we're going to reach out again and try to bring this Friday night tap takeover, which would probably be an all-day Friday thing. So people can go anywhere. On this list, obviously, we need to add is Ancient Owl, who was a great partner with us last year. So we want to add them. There's several others that we can add. And also we wanted to do the California Craft Brewers Association, which is basically any craft brewery in the state of California. This is the overall umbrella organization that you want to be a part of. They want to do a regional meeting. Tony and I did confirm with them that we are indeed going to do a regional meeting this year. It'll be Friday from 2 to 4. What we're hoping is we get even more breweries coming in on Friday. So not just coming in on Friday evening for the party, but coming in earlier in the day and joining us at this regional meeting. It's a big deal. Normally you have to go, what is it, Tony, Sacramento and maybe one in Los Angeles. Does that sound right?
It's Sacramento and then San Diego. They have winter conferences that they kind of flip-flop every year between those two cities.
So this would be a big deal. This would be their third meeting, and to add it in Atascadero is another important thing for the guild to continue to work the relationship with Atascadero, and just make you guys a part of everything that we're trying to do with this event. So we're working that out right now. It is official. We are going to do it. We're just working on location. We've had some conversations with Carlton about utilizing some of their spaces for this meeting. So we're hoping to do it there. So this is our second straight event with over 2,000 guests. We really weren't sure what was going to happen. We knew that the event is awesome and that people want to do it. But it was this weird thing where people were holding on to tickets from 2020, and then people were asking for refunds, and then people were buying new tickets. And, it was like, even if they didn't show up and they said, hey, I actually couldn't make it this year, that we were still going to give them a free complimentary ticket to use for 2022. So we really had this weird thing where we had a lot of ticket sales. But we just weren't sure if they all would show up. So they did. We had over 2,000. It felt like a lot more. And hopefully this video shows you a little bit about what it felt like, because it was an awesome event for us.
All right, bear with me. I got it queued up. Whoops, wrong one. Hold on. Bear with me, Andres.
That's okay.
I had it pulled up as a video and then I had the wrong one. So here we go. Let's
So one thing, we will remove the smoking part from that video.
Yes, you will. We've already talked about that, everybody.
Yeah.
So
So that is, there is some edits to that, but I wanted to at least get you guys something to watch. But, that event, like I said, it was a great event, had a lot of energy. I think people were super excited to actually do something. So 2022, we are super excited about that. So we sold, it's crazy. We had a lot more VIP guests than we were ready for, because we do a food and beer pairing, and it's kind of hard on the people who participate to make that much food for this many guests. So we actually sold 750 VIP tickets, but in reality, we had about 825 people there during the VIP session, because we do giveaways and sponsor tickets, and so there was a lot of people there early. This year we are going to adjust our VIP. We're no longer doing food and beer pairings. We're just going to call it a VIP early entry, which it already was, but this allows the guild to be able to sell as many VIP tickets as they want and make as much money as possible with that additional ticket increase from a VIP to GA. Like I said, we still hit over 2,000 guests. And in 2022, the goal is to sell over 800 VIP guest tickets, and as well as over 1,400 GA tickets. And now that we've already set kind of our benchmark of 2,000 plus guests, we really want to push it to the next level, which is 2,500 plus steady every single year. And I think we can continue to do that, especially if we add some of these fun things like the tap takeover on Friday night, get people in the day before. So the budget really hasn't changed much. I try my best to help the guild spend money wisely, whether that be on marketing or fencing or security. But we are looking at just about the same budget. And we're also asking for the same amount from AtMid to help us out, and $5,000. That really, most of that money goes towards marketing and the glassware. That's really what the money that we get from you guys is used for. We're going to look at getting some other additional sponsors this year to help offset other additional costs, but we're basically staying the same. Then can you go to that slide number 9, Terry? Or actually, you want to go to 8 real quick and show the budget?
I'm on 8. I thought, okay, never mind.
That's okay.
How about now?
Yeah, so there it is. So it's about 55,000. The goal is to try and make $40,000 for the guild every single year. That money is used for Tony and the board to to pay someone to run the website, the domain, social media. They have some ideas on things they want to do that they've seen other guilds do, like the Los Angeles Brewers Guild and the San Diego Brewers Guild. So they got some things that they're using this money for. Right now, it's the number one source of income for the guild. It does give every member the opportunity to be a member for free, and that's a big deal for all these independently owned craft breweries. And so, as I said, the 5,000 will be used for social media. We want to continue to get people outside the area, and we have done so in the last 2 events that we've done, and we hope to continue doing that in 2022, and just like I said, increase everything, number of people there, breweries, number of food vendors. We just want the experience to continue to grow. And so marketing, we do a lot of local, spend money locally with local radio and print companies like American General Media. We are going to start utilizing the Atascadero News as another source of marketing. I've had conversations with them. What's cool about this event, we do create coasters, and these coasters go to every single brewery along the Central Coast, and it has the event with the QR code. So it's a great way for us to market the event to people who are drinking beer up and down the coast. We are once again working with Holiday Inn Express, Spring Hill Suites, and the Carlton as not only sponsors, but lodging partners. We're hoping to add some more partnering hotels in 2022. We want to bring back the bus transportation. We did it with Hop On Tours. She had her catalytic converters stolen a week before the event, so we could not do it. But we are having conversations with them to be a part of it as well, so that we can get guests to and from our hotels, as well as from Paso and San Luis Obispo coming into town who are not going to stay overnight. We are going to offer local businesses a discounted vendor booth. We did that last year, just so that they can make even more money outside of the brick and mortar and do it at the event. So I'll be working with some of the local businesses we did for Fall Fest, but also with the chamber and getting the word out for people to join us there. It is a really good event for those businesses. So, we thank you guys for continuing to support the event. We hope that you guys see the increase year after year, and not just breweries, but overnight stays. I think speaking for the partnering hotels, we asked them, how was the weekend? They've had great weekends on the weekends that we've had this event. And so hopefully that continues. And we can do this for many, many, many years, because this is a great spot for this event and for the guild in general. It's right in the middle of their area, and you guys are right in the middle of LA and San Francisco. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for us. So, and you guys have done a tremendous job of putting craft beer at the forefront of what you guys are doing in terms of your Burgers and Brews Trail and all the craft breweries coming into town and tasting rooms. So, cheers to 2022.
Perfect. Thanks, Andres. Do we have any questions from the board?
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I just got one question. That additional event that you're talking about the day before, I think it was, where you don't have a set, I think you said you don't have a set time. If you could, I guess, it sounds great to me. I would ask and encourage you, the earlier to do that, the better, to maybe encourage some Thursday night stays for people to attend.
Sure.
That's the only thing I had to say. Everything sounds great.
Yeah, we did set a time. We're going to do that meeting at 2:00. That way it's over by 4:00, and then it gives the people going to the meeting about 2 hours to get back to their hotels before they head over to the brewers party. So once we just need the location. We do know what day we want to do it and what time. And so we're actually just got some links for some discounted lodging. So that's going to go out to all their brewers. So they are going to know that Friday from 2 to 4. So maybe what we can do is also encourage, hey, if you guys want to come in a day before, and maybe that's something I'll just email them, get here early if you want. So it is pretty early. It's 2 o'clock, and a lot of these guys come from, a couple hours away to be here.
Love this one when I get the chance to speak.
Jeff Oslin, you were just broadcasting. Did you want to speak, or are you going to hold?
If I could figure out how to use this. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. Is this the appropriate time for me to talk about a couple concerns that I have, or would you like me to hold?
In regards to security, I think hold until your second Fall Fest. Right now we're on Central Coast Craft Beer Fest. Okay,
all right,
you're welcome.
Thank you. But I think they're both
okay,
relevant.
That's fine.
Thanks.
If you want to share now, that's fine.
Okay.
We haven't, hold on one sec though. Yeah. Have we gone to public, Patricia?
We haven't yet. If there's no additional questions from the board, then we can move to public. Do any other board members have any questions at this time? Nope. Okay, so we can open the public comment period. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item?
The answer is yes, and my name is Jeff Oslin, business owner.
Perfect. Go ahead, Jeff. It's all yours.
Okay. Thank you. So I think all these events that we're bringing to town are fantastic, but as a business owner and an owner of a security company, I have a few concerns. So I'm expressing this to TBID because you guys sponsor this and we all pay for business licenses. So my concern is that we're not using companies in San Luis County, which is okay, but we need to make sure that if we're using security, we are licensed through the state, which is BSIS. We hold a business license somewhere within the state of California, I would think, if not here in Atascadero. And we're not, and we're doing what we're supposed to do through the state of California and BSIS if we're calling people security guards. If you're calling them event staff, that's a different issue. But, we pay taxes. I don't care if it's my company, but I think we should all have the opportunity locally to at least compete for the business of staffing these events, whether it's somebody out of Arroyo Grande or Paso or Atascadero. To me, it's very important it's somebody in the county, and we all have an opportunity to bid for the services. That would be number one. Number two is going back to, we need to be licensed. And if we're not licensed, then we should have security. And every single guard needs to have a guard.
Jeff, you were breaking up at the end, but I think everybody got the gist of that.
I'm just saying we need to make sure we're licensed and we hold an active guard card if we're going to say we're security officers, because there's a whole system through the state of what we can do and can't do. Thank you.
Yeah, you want me to answer that?
Yes, you can go ahead and.
So we do, we use a security company that does have California license. They're licensed and insured, and in order to do so, that's the only way that we can do any business in terms of pulling an ABC permit, pulling a city permit, county permit, any type of permit that we need, health department. It's gone over with the local sheriff companies. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, and this is obviously something that's super important to us because it's something that's very, very necessary. In terms of getting quotes, we have actively asked for quotes, and Jeff, I think your company has quoted this event, and it, you know, as an event organizer that's working for a client, you know, we have to try and do our best to keep our clients' budgets down, and you know, sometimes yeah, sometimes we got to go out of the area. And a perfect example is we do the same thing for restrooms and hand sinks. Is we had to use a company that's not from the area, but you know, we just can't afford to pay the overage for a local company and then expect the event to be success. I really, you know, it's a tough spot for us, and we do business all along the Central Coast. So, you know, we do try to work with all the local companies that we can, or support local businesses, and hence the, you know, allowing local businesses to have vendor booths at a discount and to make money outside of the brick and mortar, and work with the local chamber and the city to promote it. So I definitely do it. And Jeff, if your company wants to bid on the event again, we can, I can send you an email, and you can send us a quote, and I can talk it over with the guild's board and go from there.
All right, any additional comments from the public at this time? Okay, seeing no additional comments, we can go ahead and close the public comment period on this one. Do we have any comments from the board? No? Okay, does anyone from the board want to entertain a motion for this item?
I don't have my agenda in front of me, but hopefully I worded it right. I move to approve. Is it staff's recommendation for this event for the 5,000?
Yeah, provide staff direction. Sorry, on the sponsorship request for the March 2022 Central Coast Craft Beer Festival event for 5,000.
That was perfect, Terry.
Sorry.
All right, so we've got a first from Amr. Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Perfect. Can we get a roll call, please, Amanda?
Of course. Board Member Alexander.
Yes. Sorry.
Thank you. Board Member Sohi.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ketchum.
Yes.
Chairperson Harden.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Perfect. Thank you, Amanda. So I believe we can roll right into the Fall Festival recap and 2022 sponsorship request, also with Andres. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Fall Fest was it was an enormous success. We could not have imagined a more perfect scenario for the amount of vendors that took place, the way the flow went for the 3 days. It really, I mean, the picture that you're just looking at right now is exactly what I was like envisioning, right? Like that was that. What, will you go to the first slide, Terry? So that picture right there, it's like you have City Hall with our main stage, and you have Ferris wheel, and it was cool that we were able to add the swings on the same stretch. And to me, that's just kind of like such an iconic shot, and it's something that we can use for marketing forever. You know, we wouldn't really have to change that. That's exactly what we wanted. So here is our video. Again, there are some tweaks that we're making, but I thought this is a good enough version of this video for you guys to kind of see how awesome it was. Is the volume on, Terry? You're muted.
Am I good now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, guys.
Terry, I think when you mute yourself, you mute it.
Sorry about all that. Let me pull up your PowerPoint again. There you go.
Yeah, so that was that pretty much captured what we saw. It was just a lot of smiling faces, lots of families, a lot of people just having a really, really good time. So we dubbed it Fun for the Whole Family, where we wanted a little bit of everything, right? So we made it very affordable. It was free admission. We added the carnival games and rides. We had 30 bands on 2 stages. We had street fair vendors, food trucks. We sold craft beer, seltzer, and wine. And it literally just had a little bit of everything for anyone. We estimate we wanted 15,000 over 3 days based. So I'll put it in perspective. So the Bealton Fall Festival was at that moment, the best fall festival we've ever had. It far surpassed what we did in Solvang by the middle of Saturday. So heading into Atascadero Fall Fest, we had already seen, wow, that was an amazing event. Let's hope that we do as well in Atascadero. And we did on Saturday in Atascadero almost as good, and it's off by very, very little, as good as we did the entire weekend in Bealton. So that's pretty incredible. In one day, that event surpassed what we already was our best event that we've ever done. So we definitely think we had over 17,000 people there over 3 days. Our goal in 2022 is to bring 20,000 people there over 3 days. We had 53 different street fair vendors. We had 9 local businesses and nonprofits that were all there. We didn't charge any of them to be there, and we will continue to do so. So we hope that number increases. We had 18 different food vendors for a total of 71 different vendors. That's pretty awesome to have on year number 1. And every single one of them were so excited about the event. They want to come back again next year. We've already had emails about them. We've had a lot of people ask locally if it's coming back so that their business can be there. So I really am excited about that. We did a mini craft beer tasting because that's just who we are. We're craft beer at heart, where we invited 15 local breweries, ciders, wineries, seltzers. The thinking behind that is that people are there. They get to try their different ciders and seltzers and beer. And hopefully over the course of that weekend, go visit those tap rooms or brew pubs. We had some great partnerships. Holiday Inn Express and Suites was our lodging partner. They were also our stage sponsor, where we hosted the Battle of the Teenage Bands and had over 20 bands play over 3 days. 12 bands play over 3 days. Spring Hill Suites Marriott was our lodging partner and also our carnival sponsor. And that was the carnival's obviously a very highlight of the weekend. And then we also had obviously Visit Atascadero as our presenting and main sponsor. And I'm not sure if you guys were able to go check it out, but I thought the whole stage look with the Visit Atascadero banner hanging behind it, and it was black and it looked good. It was always lit with the backdrop of City Hall, and to the right of it, Ferris wheel. I just thought it all came together really good. I hope that's something that you guys are proud of, because it was awesome and we had some really good bands. We were also able to help out some local nonprofits. So our third bar, we let any nonprofit groups, and there was 3 of them that signed up. What they did was they just manned that bar, and they got to keep all the tips that they made there. So we just tried to make it a little bit easier for them to make some money with a lot of people around. So that was Atascadero Pickleball, Friends of Atascadero Lake, Parents for Joy. And then we also wrote a $2,000 donation check to the Charles Paddock Zoo, which we're just waiting for kind of that information, but we want to continue to do stuff like that. This event was a very expensive event to put on. I unfortunately go big, and with that comes a cost. And it cost $110,000. We spent $18,000 on entertainment. We thought it was very, very important to do so. Bringing Pato Banton in for a free show on a Saturday night at Sunken Gardens, it just added a lot to that event. We'd like to bring them back for 2022 and then make a change in 2023, but we thought he was so good, and there was a lot of people who said, oh, we didn't hear about it, or wish I would have known. I love that guy. So the goal is to bring him back. And our stage was significantly larger than anything else that we do. We had a lot of staff members. We had staff members staying in town for a couple nights. And we just, it's just what it costs to put on a show or an event that's this big. With that, we are asking, we received $5,000 in 2021 from AtBid. We want to see if it's possible for us to receive $20,000. This event is 3 days as opposed to a 1 day, event over the course of many, many hours. We want to continue to grow this. One of the biggest things for us to do is increase our marketing and our marketing strategy, marketing dollars and partners. So we want to increase the amount of money we're spending to promote this event. We want to continue to bring top-notch entertainment, like I said, Pato Banton, but we also want to bring in some other high acts that will potentially bring a draw to the event as well too. This event, I believe, was rivaled some of the biggest events in San Luis Obispo County. And we really want this to become this kind of staple event where people are like, hey, I have to circle this on my calendar. It's one of those events I want to do, kind of like the California Mid-State Fair, right? We're just starting. They've been around for a very long time. There's other large events that happen. I think what the with the year that we had for year one, I think we can really make this something special. It was cool, and I think it could be even more amazing. I think we could draw more people. We've asked for more space this year so that we can increase. We've had a number of vendors that want to join us, so we think that number is going to go up. So, you know, and we want to continue also working with local businesses and nonprofit groups and giving them free vendor spaces, opportunities to raise funds at the event, and that's something that's important to us too. And you know, we want to do this again, that's for sure. And you know, we're hoping we can increase the amount of funds that we can get this year from APID to do so.
Perfect. Thanks, Andres. Any questions from the board on this presentation? I got one, I guess. Are you still looking at the same date or same time? I mean, obviously it's Fall Fest, it's going to be the fall, but are you looking at November again, possibly for this year?
Yes. So the dates for this year's event are November 18th through 20th. Okay. We'll always stay in that area. So it'll always be the third weekend in November. And it'll always, one thing and I'm not sure if I did do this, we also will never duplicate this event anywhere in San Luis Obispo County. So this is the furthest north we're ever going to go. We're going to do the Buellton Fall Fest. It's always going to be the weekend before. We may do something closer to the Los Angeles County line that kind of starts it, and this will be like the culmination of it. So I think you guys did benefit from Buellton being first, because there was a lot of people that went to the Buellton Fall Fest and they're like, oh, it's not that far away. So we came up to the Atascadero Fall Fest. So that's important to us to let you guys know that this isn't something that we're shopping around and saying, hey, San Luis Obispo, we want to do this, or hey, you know, Paso, let's try to do this too. This is the only thing we'll ever do like this anywhere in San Luis Obispo County.
Perfect. Thank you. I think that it's a fantastic, from my point of view, a fantastic weekend to do it. So it worked out really well. Any other board members with questions?
I think the only question I have is, I mean, I thought it was a great event also, and I would love to see it come back. 20,000 is a big jump. So, I mean, I do like the fact, like Patricia was saying, it's on that weekend, the weekend before Thanksgiving. I do love the fact that Enfuego is talking about, you know, not shopping in SLO County and kind of remaining loyal with Atascadero and growing this event to be bigger. All good things. That number is just a big number, and I feel like, you know, are we gonna reach out more to out of town visitors? Is there, I don't know, Terry, if there's an opportunity to like partner up with the city on this one. You know what I mean? I would like to see this happen. It's a big number.
Yeah, and what I can say is another way for you all to look at it is he's asking for 20,000 for a 3-day event. So you have, usually we're looking at a 1-day event, or we're trying to do 1.5 or something like that. So that's one of the things to look at. And I apologize because the staff report, I put 10,000. And I know that Andres have really had to go over the budget and all of that. And anyway, the 20,000 would be looking over a series of a couple days. The other thing to look at and consider is visit SLOCAL, and not to put Camille on the hook over there, but as we talk about events and festival strategy and what it brings into the county, same with when we look at the Bovine Classic, there might be an opportunity more for Visit SLOCAL to be a part of that. So, but for today, exclusivity and 3 days, that's something that, seeing what was done and what came into each of your hotels, you might not be ready to make a decision today. But whatever direction that you give us, it's something that, you know, maybe we do an ad hoc, like we've said before, that kind of goes and looks at that event in particular and, you know, all those pieces and brings it back to the board. These are just some suggestions. So, but wanted to weigh in on that part of it.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I like I mean, you're right about the 3-day. I wasn't considering that. And as well, Andres, as you were saying, to bring in more big names like Pato Bantan. So, maybe people from out of the area would be more inclined to visit. Maybe an ad hoc. I mean, I'm open to ears on that. I would like to see what we can do to make this happen. I think Visit SlowCal is a great idea as well, just because this event, post this event, I mean, it was kind of talked about throughout the county through the Tribune and lots of, it wasn't just a Atascadero local. There was a lot of other towns talking about it. I think kind of proud of it also that it was a county event. So I think that's a good angle as well for Visit SlowCal to maybe approach them. I would be happy to also to approach Visit SlowCal.
No, I agree, Amr. I think there's opportunity, and just speaking from my personal experience with our guests for that weekend, we had a really successful weekend with people that did come for it, and then we were able to kind of capitalize on the guests we already had and convert them to wanting to go to the event, which you hope always turns into obviously repeat business for both us and the event. But people were excited about it from out of the area, so I hope that we can continue that trend into next year. So I think Visit SlowCal is a great option if they're on board.
I can also say before we go to public, that as we work through these events, I mean, I still heard about this event at Tamale Festival, and constantly. It wasn't just a couple people. It was like, wow, Atascadero, they put on this huge mid-state fair carnival thing, and then now they're doing fireworks and Tamale. I mean, I just kept hearing it over. I told Andres, I'm like, you're still getting credit out there. So anyway, I just wanted to share that because it has had the investment that was made for the first one has lasted a very, very long time in the minds of people, not only here in our area, but also people that came to the area that will be back. So.
I can't remember, I mean, the way our TOTs have changed to, all sorts of different percentages over the time. I feel like we used to have sort of a gauge of if an event was, $10,000, 10% as TOT, we got to make $100,000 as far as total gross sales for all hotels, which equates to on a weekend, 500 rooms. Do we have, or can we get kind of a general gauge? You know what I mean? For like how much an event costs, how many room nights would that equate to for it to just cover our costs?
I think there's a way to do that with Andres, just with in general what he spent. I'm thinking, and what that would look like compared to the next year that he spends. I don't know. We can ad hoc it. I mean, like I said, it's kind of an ad hoc. You're also getting more TOT, and your TBID funds are coming in higher, obviously, because we have more hotels. So your budget has more flexibility with big opportunities like this one. So you have that ability to look at that, not just to, spend here and, however, but you can at least really look at your budget where you're sitting in an ad hoc scenario and what does that look like going forward and what percentage, lift that was seen overall. I don't know how to do that in a way that's not competitive, or, you know what I mean? That's.
Yeah, I do. I think I can figure it out quickly too.
Yeah.
I'll probably email you.
Okay.
And I guess in retrospect, I mean, 5-6 years ago, we would have jumped, in a heartbeat at an opportunity to throw $20,000 at an event. So the fact that we are in a position now to do an event, a successful event, is exciting. But anyways, that's all I got.
Perfect. Any additional questions from the board? All right, we can go ahead and open up a public comment period. Are any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? All right, seeing no public comments, we can go ahead and close the public comment period. Any additional comments from the board at this time?
I would just like to say I agree with Umar when he's talking about, we used to just like beg for people to want to come have events here, and now they're coming, and it's like I think we need to take advantage of every single one that that is, especially successful, exciting ones like the Fall Festival was.
I totally agree. I think this one was
Shut down.
exciting, and the fact that people are still talking about it is a huge.
The city needs
thing, I think.
Patricia, I think Jeff is trying to,
Is that where that guy?
go ahead again, Jeff.
Oh, I have nothing at all.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, any additional comments from the board? Are there any board members that would like to make a motion on this item?
I'll make a motion. I mean, if we, I guess, if we make a motion, we can't, I guess do we still explore with the city? Do we still explore with Visit SlowCal, like other opportunities? Or if we make a motion now and approve an amount, are we locked into that?
So I would say you can do one of two things. You can, and Amanda will give me the dirty look if I say something that isn't the right way. If you choose to ad hoc it, then there's two of you that would get together to work with Andres, to work with Visit SlowCal, to work with City on that dollar amount or where you want to go with it. If you want to go ahead and make a motion for the 20,000 and you get a second and all of that, then that's up to you on how you want to motion that. Right now, what we're basically looking for, provide staff direction on the sponsorship request for the November 2022 Atascadero Fall Fest event. Physical impact was 10,000. Now we know that's really 20,000. Maybe that's something where you can approve the 10,000 and then ad hoc the other 10,000 to figure that part out. I don't know. I'm going to look to Amanda at this point before I dig myself way into the hole here.
So as far as an ad hoc goes, that would fall to the chairperson to go ahead and assign that ad hoc. But if there's board consensus that that's what you would like to do, then Patricia could go that next step and go ahead and assign an ad hoc. Or as Terry was saying, if you want to approve an amount today and then ad hoc for an additional amount to come back and approve more, an additional sponsorship later, then you could do that as well.
How are we budget wise with events? I mean, are we still, as far as like the 2022 year, I mean, this would be one of the, well, I guess it'd be in the middle of a fiscal year, right? So
yeah.
I mean, as far as events, like we wouldn't miss opportunities on other events and things like that. I feel like Wine Speak is not happening, right? That's
Correct.
kind of off and
not happening. There's 10,000 right there.
Right.
You're fine right now with how you all are positioned and spending. And like I mentioned, the budget, as we bring in more of the percentage of revenue that's, happening right now, I mean, that does help with your budget. And what we could do is in February, really take a hard look at the budget and where everything is at and what we have in the pipeline. I don't think a $10,000 increase is going to do anything major for you. So if you did go ahead and approve the 20,000, you're looking at a 3-day event that brings in tons of people. I was floored by the number of people coming in. Or you're putting down basically a $10,000 deposit. Andres, hang tight. We're going to figure this out on the other 10,000. There's that way to go. Or you just ad hoc, not commit to anything today, or come back at the next meeting and talk through it. That's the third opportunity. Not ad hoc it, but bring it back to the next meeting, like we're doing the Bovine Classic today, and talk through it at that point.
Gotcha.
So 3 options. Not to make it difficult at all, but I understand. And I also understand the potential for more involvement from like Visit SlowCal. I mean, City, we're giving you our sponsorship in the venue and Public Works and PD. I can't go there and give you 10,000 more in cash when we have events. We're trying to do more events. I have Tamale Festival that also keeps increasing every year just with inflation alone, and rentals and things like that, which I know everyone can kind of understand. But I feel like we have that. We have an investment in this event and we want to see it happen, but the seed money is so important. We couldn't do it without TBID. Okay, now I'm really going to stop talking. Hopefully that's helpful.
Yeah, no, it's helpful for me. I mean, what do you guys think? Any board members? I mean, I mean, I'm kind of ready to throw a motion out there, but I kind of just want to hear how you guys feel too.
I think it's time to step up to the plate and say we want to, you know, back this event and bite the bullet and put 20,000 towards it.
I agree. I do have one question for Enfuego, and just asking, like, have you approached Visit SlowCal yet, or anything of that nature? Just Visit or just Atascadero thus far, as far as the 20,000?
Yeah. So when we started talking to Terry about the potential of bringing this event to Atascadero, we did it directly through Visit Atascadero. And then I think there was a quick conversation about, hey, should I approach Visit SlowCal? And at that point, it was more under, hey, let's just keep it here for now, since it's directly impacting Atascadero. And so I think at that time it was like, okay, let's maybe see what happens with the event and see how it goes. And so this year when we came back to it, I said, okay, let's work directly again with, you know, Visit Atascadero and see, you know, the Visit SlowCal wasn't really an option until it was brought up in this meeting. Because I've really never worked directly with them, so I don't know exactly what the requirements would be for specific, you know, if it's something that's directly in one city or how it would impact other cities. But as we saw, you know, it did bring people in from other parts of San Luis Obispo County, and whether or not that was leading to overnight stays in those other areas, I don't know. But yeah, we have not approached that.
I feel like it does get tricky with Visit SlowCal too, with individual city events. I mean, I think they'd be super supportive on the marketing of everything, but
Yeah.
as far as funding, I guess like I'm coming back to us being sort of on our own with this, which is a good thing. I mean, and if board members are in favor of it, yeah. Well, I'm ready to make a motion.
I agree. I think 20,000 it seems like a big number, but what we'll get in return is even bigger. So that answers my question.
I'm on board too.
That sounded like a motion.
Okay, so make a motion. Somebody make a motion.
All right.
I move that we commit $20,000 to the 2022 Fall Festival.
I second.
Perfect. Can we get a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Board Member Alexander.
Yes.
Board Member Sohi.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ketchum.
Yes.
Chairperson Harden.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you guys so much. We are very, very excited about 2022.
Thank you. We are too.
We'll make sure we get that exclusivity going on there, Andres.
I love Atascadero too much to ever compete with anything we do in Atascadero. So
thank you. Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay,
all right.
So right now I'm just gonna do a quick touch base. We are at 3:30. We did slam a lot into this meeting. We have some major things going on. We have the Bovine Classic to talk about, followed by the TOT collection. I have Jerry standing by. And then the marketing plan. I know there's some big items that we have. And so we have an hour to get that all done. So I'm not going to talk anymore, but move to the Bovine Classic. Unless you guys want to reshuffle anything around, you just let me know. Okay, let's.
I think I'm good to move on to the Bovine.
Okay, thank you, Board Chair. All right.
all right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Andres. Bye.
Okay, go ahead, Terry.
Oh, how about that? Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to give you all a quick update on the Bovine Classic. we have some information. It's been discussed. The Paso Travel Paso, I'm sorry. The board is very intrigued. Their board is very intrigued with the high net worth audience that this event will attract. And as you know, when we had Brian Yates come in and talk about the Bovine Classic at our last meeting in November, talking about all the different riders, where they're coming from, and being here for a couple days. So it'd be like a Friday, Saturday type of event. The dollar amount is pretty high. So it's like a $24,000 event type of thing. So they're looking for a little bit more money. In this particular scenario, as we team up with Paso, I think there's more of an ability to make this more of a North County opportunity. With Paso, they are bringing the funding request to their February 15th Travel Paso meeting. And they had a huge meeting yesterday, and their whole thought process is around budget reallocation, approving additional marketing spend, and feedback from the city on the renewal of their Paso Robles Tourism Improvement District, because they have some other things going on. And this is all public. Stacy said I could share it. But basically, with the Bovine Classic and all the different discussions, they're looking possibly the naming of it being Bovine Classic, kind of just, not that they're getting involved with that, because their Instagram and all of that is, their marketing is pretty cool. But they're really looking at different things with the event, and also moving it into November. So that for us, we had looked at October for this event, I believe the 7th and 8th, and moving it to November 4th instead. So you'd have 2 major events in November. And I don't know what that looks like from a hotel perspective. But with us being all involved together, the November 4th works better for Paso. So we get into the date thing going on a little bit, and none of us have committed yet, but it feels like it's a big event that everybody up here wants to be a part of, everybody being Paso and Atascadero. So that's kind of the latest also. And then Visit SoCal, getting Melissa involved with Brian and talking about that as well, because it feels like this event could be a lot larger. So all of that being said, working through the minor things of the date, it kind of sets you off a little bit, but really kind of looking at the event overall, and I have it up on the screen so you can see it. If we moved the Friday, October 7th and Saturday, October 8th to November 4th and 5th, that's what's being discussed. And just the overall, marketability of this. We have our tiering. It's at the $10,000 tier, which is the highest tier for a new event. This is something that, it's kind of back to TBID to make a decision if you want to be a sponsor of this event, be a part of it, or is there an ad hoc that you want to wait a little bit and talk to Paso more and have that kind of synergy between both Travel Paso and TBID on how we move forward. So that's where we are so far.
Thank you, Terry. Any questions from the board?
I mean, I feel like the dates are, generally speaking, historically speaking, I feel like the dates are better in November than October.
Yeah,
I can't remember back in November what this Bovine Classic was about, but is it?
It was the bike thing, right?
It's the bike thing, and I have it up on the screen. Okay, if you guys want to take a look with the summary right there. I don't know if you can see it.
No, I remember now. I don't know why I was thinking cows. I was thinking agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, now I remember the bike thing. Okay.
The bike thing, and the Peloton thing. And in this, they were talking about the name of it. And not that we're trying to tell anybody how to do their naming or marketing, but I don't know. I don't know if that's even an option type of thing, but.
Well, if I can just say, I think that was because he wants to ask the ranchers if they can come on their property and do the gravel. That's probably where the bovine came from. And just to secondly, I'd like to say that I think that November date is kind of perfect in November because the following weekend is Veterans Day. We always get really booked there, and then
Oh, good.
and then the Fall Festival, and then Thanksgiving. So that would make a pretty fabulous November.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of opportunity to really just have November be great with the addition of this event. And that weekend in October traditionally is already busy with everything else. So I don't know that we need a large event. And I know that's Pioneer Day weekend, which is probably why Paso didn't want that weekend too. So it makes sense. And I think the November dates are better personally. So I'm
Okay,
happy to see
good.
they're
That's good to
amenable changing
know.
it.
And it seemed like when he presented a couple months ago, I mean, it did seem and sound like a good event, a great event that would bring in a lot of people, the type of clientele that we want to bring in. Did he have numbers of how many people that he was guesstimating?
Yeah, he does have numbers. 750 to 1,000 in attendance on just the Sunken Gardens evening that they would be doing. So they're looking around 1,000 people probably per day. Let me scroll down. I don't want to mess you up when I scroll. So let me do that a little bit and see what else I have in here with his recap and his words. Yeah, 750 to 1,000 and 85% outside of the area. I believe that because you're pulling in a very unique demographic and group that does the mixed surface cycling events.
And I remember
Terry,
Tom,
do we remember? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Omar.
So I remember Tom was asking if there was a concern if it would conflict with any other bike events. And I think we determined that it was a different type of a bike event and that NOAA would not compete, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And then do you know, Terry, I don't remember what he said, the start and end points for it, are they going to be in, I know the event that he's looking at Sunken Gardens, but are the start and end points for the race is going to be in Atascadero, or are they going to be in Paso? Because that impacts where people want to stay, I would think. So,
it would be in Atascadero.
Okay.
Atascadero was the starting point, and
perfect.
We were more concerned about how do we get them from Sunken Gardens over to the gravel start over at Spring Hill. Because that's kind of where it starts along the riverbed and goes through there. PD's fine. As far as public works go, we gave them, you're going to need to work with a traffic control business like Avila Traffic or Associated Traffic or somebody like that, because not only for Atascadero, but for Paso and Caltrans. And I mean, they need to cover all their bases. So they need to hire a traffic business so they can do their traffic control plan and all that. And he didn't seem to have an issue with that. I think that's part of the pricing for him that's gone higher because of that reason. It's made it a little higher, obviously, which makes sense.
Gary, if needed, we can link the presentation from the last agenda packet. I did double check the link in that packet. So if we need to reference it, it is accessible from the website.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Okay, so if you guys want to see the presentation real quick, I can pull that up. No, I know it's more fluffy. This is more.
And you totally refreshed my memory with the questions that I had, so I feel good. But unless someone else wants to, I think
it's a very savvy event, and it definitely has a very upscale market that would bring to the hotel. So I'm trying to look for that here, and I don't see it. It's in the presentation, but.
And then do you, I guess, maybe anticipate or foresee any, I don't know, difficulties or complications in, with Visit Atascadero and Travel Paso, like with each, organization kind of wanting, more representation, or how is, I guess, are you going to be the one, Terry, like representing us on that with Travel Paso? Like, how would that work? Because they can push hard sometimes. And I know you can too, but it just means that someone's going to have to push.
Yeah, I would think we're going to be pretty balanced on it. I know that Tom O'Malley already had both mayors on board with it at Portola Inn. I think he did something where he talked to them about the Bovine Classic type of thing there, and having that. I can work with Stacy. I'm not worried about Stacy running over us as far as that goes. I have a good relationship with Stacy. I feel like we could be very balanced. I honestly feel that if we bring in 10,000, they'll probably be bringing in 20, and that's okay, because when you look at the hotels and the number of hotels to Paso, a number of hotels to Atascadero, and if we make sure that the event really kicks off here and kind of stays here, so to speak, they'll have an event, I think, on Saturday in Paso, but understanding that more and making sure it's balanced, and we make sure I'll make sure it's balanced, that to me makes sense, that we would not put up the lion's share of the money just because of, we have our tiering, number one, and it's a first year. So always first year, giving that opportunity to kick off and start.
Got it. Okay.
Any additional questions from the board? Okay, so we can go ahead and open up the public comment period. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? Okay, so we can go ahead and close the public comment period. Any additional board member comments at this time?
I mean, if anything, it would be, it would be a good opportunity to work with Paso, which has been hard in the past.
Right.
And I feel like we may be in the best position ever to take that leap.
Well, and I think if you look at Morro Bay and Pismo, or however it worked, Pismo to Morro Bay with the surf contest, that's another thing where they were able to link together with the surf contest and made it bigger. And that's an opportunity that we have with this.
And that's a great point. And with Visit SlowCal, which it can be a little, difficult sometimes for them to do things for individual communities or individual cities. As a North County thing for both Paso and Atascadero, they may be able to do more. So it's a good.
More regional.
Or regional, yeah. Okay.
All right, any additional board member comments? Okay, seeing none of those, do we have a motion on this item from anyone on the board?
I'll make a motion to approve the $10,000 for the Bovine Classic.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, can we get a roll call, please, Amanda?
Of course. Board Member Alexander.
Yes.
Board Member Sohi.
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ketchum.
Yes.
Chairperson Harden.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Perfect, thank you. So let's go ahead and roll into number 4, the TOT collection update with Jerry.
Okay, so Jerry, you're on finally.
Hi, everyone.
I know. So let me know what you want me to do with my sharing of the screen. I can unshare and then have you go ahead and show a couple things in regards to the TOT collection software billing program and have you take it away. Okay, I will stop sharing. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just start real quick. Hopefully all of you have had the opportunity to check into the HDL, the new program that just started up the beginning of this month. So we're excited about that. So we've gotten a lot of requests to be able to pay online, use credit cards, and make it more efficient. So we're trying to kind of honor all of that and provide some more options for us. This will also kind of give us the capacity that we need to be able to go into a monthly pay situation. So let's see. I do have a link up. I can share with you all kind of the process if you'd like. Would you like to go through that, or you kind of know how it works and you're good with that?
Are you guys pretty comfortable with the platform?
I haven't looked at it yet, but if you think it's pretty user friendly, unless you think there's a reason to go through it, I'm okay to not go through it. Whatever you think.
It is pretty user friendly. I think they have provided everybody account number and a PIN number. And so there's both a website link on that paper and a link from our website to go to that page. And then you just say, you put in your information and then you report on the form there. You can either pay by e-check, which is free, or by credit card, which will charge you a fee for that piece. You can also download the form and mail it in, same as you used to do. So there's different options to kind of meet everybody's needs. So let's see, the transition to monthly will take, we're kind of working on that. First of all, we want to make sure we get plenty of notice to everybody so that everybody sees it coming, so that they're not surprised and are ready for the change. And then we also need to make a change to our municipal code, because right now it says that we collect quarterly, so we would need to change that to monthly. So we're trying to get all of that put together to target July 1st as a change from the quarterly to monthly reporting. Terry, did you have anything else to add on this?
I do not. I'm going to share my screen back again because it gives all the information for you guys to take a peek at. As for looking at it, I think that's, can you see my screen? Okay, so, and I'll look to Jerry for her help here. So this program, when we approved it, it was about $10,000. And since then we've grown quite a bit with the short-term rentals. And we have 9 hotels. So the cost of the program is approximately $17,000. And then my question back to Jerry, is that annually, or how does that work? Because there's a whole cost structure with this.
Right, and that is an annual fee, but that is quarterly, because each of the short-term rentals have a reporting fee attached to them. So if we're reporting on a 12 period, if we're receiving 12 reports essentially a year, it's more costly than if we're doing 4 on a quarterly basis. The hotels are rated for an annual fee. So they're calculated a little bit differently. So yes, the 17,000 is the quarterly price. Once we go to monthly, that's going to change. If we keep the same number of short-term rentals that we have now, some of those are not currently active. Some are. It kind of changes from period to period on that. That would be probably closer to 35,000.
So it's 35,000 for the monthly program on an annual basis.
Correct.
Okay, and right now we're at 17,000 for a quarterly program annually. So you're paying a total of 17,000 annually for your TOT to go quarterly. And then it'd be 35,000 if you go to your monthly platform that you guys want. So it's higher, but that's 35,000 on an annual basis. Right. So right now we're quarterly. We've gotten the platform up and running for quarterly TOT reporting, which is going to cost the TBID $17,000 a year. So if you want to go monthly, it's because of all the activity, we've had such an increase in the STRs. Now, the saving grace in all of this is your $5,135 that we've been paying annually every year to host compliance, which is the STR program that is now owned by Granicus. That program doesn't need to be in place anymore. So we can cancel our contract with host compliance, which will save $5,135 a year, because the new program that we're on with this platform uses Deckard for short-term rentals. Deckard's like one of the flagship short-term rental folks that find people out there and bring them to us and say they aren't paying TOT, and you only pay $45 when they bring one of those to us. Because we've already been doing this for the past 5 years, or however long we've been doing it with host compliance, we have collected all of these STRs out there. We've gotten them all activated. So we don't have that anymore. We have one here, one there. You know, why pay $5,000 a year for something that we don't have to spend that money anymore. So that's where this is at. We were gonna have them dovetail each other and see how it goes, but there's no reason to do that. They're gonna find the same property and bring it to us and say, they're not paying TOT and they look like they're a short-term rental. So that luxury stays intact with this program. And it's only $45 a property when they do it. So you're saving $5,000 there just from not renewal, if that's what you wish to do. So that's what we're talking about today.
So, I mean, I think, I feel like I remember originally when we were talking about going to monthly, it was going to be, we were told $17,000 to go to monthly TOT. Are we saying it's going to be 35,000 then to go to monthly?
It'd be 35,000 annually, given the increase in short-term rentals that we have that we're going monthly with. It's driven by the number, that's why we were like approximately, that's kind of where we are, but
yeah,
it'll change.
I mean, I've been wanting to go monthly for a long time, but that seems like a lot to pay.
I know.
I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, because I feel like when we've kind of kicked this around over the years, and when I feel like when we heard that number 17 to go monthly, we were all like, let's just do it. But this is kind of a change.
Yeah.
And it's a big change. I hear what you're saying. It's $17,000 a year if we were collecting quarterly, but I'm not really sure where that confusion came from, because the discussion was always, we just want to go to monthly, whether it's online or whether it's through some different platform. Like, don't know, don't care. You know what I mean? We just want to go to pay our TOT monthly, and we were told 17. So that is kind of a big switch. I mean, I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, what do you think, Ashley? I mean, I know that you guys want that monthly information. I know you want that information monthly.
Yeah, you do.
And we want it for you. And we want it for you, but that's double, right? I mean, that's a big increase already. 17 was already, what do you think? I'll just stop talking.
No, I mean, you bring up a good point. We always like to see, because it helps with tracking, to just kind of get a clear understanding or a good picture on how things are performing, how overall the destination is doing, and any upticks that we see for trending and future planning. But I think that that's an investment. And so, you know, the board needs to weigh in of what's the return on that. I think we're coming into a place where I'm liking where I'm seeing the numbers. We have some really great resources and research through our partnership with SlowCal. So they're, you know, the level of things that we're getting from them to support the work we're doing is helpful. And yeah, I mean, I think I would say it's not a make or break for our team to analyze at this point, because I think we have a lot of other touch points, especially with the dashboards SlowCal provides us.
Okay. And I feel like you guys have done a great job over the years honing in on our quarters and knowing the difference within our quarters without information. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of backtracking now that it's, I mean, 3,000 a month, you know what I mean? What do you think? Anybody else?
It seems like a large increase to me. I mean, it's double basically what we thought it was going to be. So to me, I'm kind of on the same page as you, Amrit. I don't know that it's necessarily worth it, especially knowing that it's not like the end all be all for Ashley and team over there. So I don't know if it's worth it.
I don't think it's worth it at all. It's, you know, I think it's actually ridiculous. So
Yeah.
that it's twice as much. So unfortunately.
So what we could do, this is an option to throw out at you guys. We've made the transition right now to the software platform. So we're halfway there in the sense that if we are using the platform, because what the city normally charges is roughly 8,000, 10,000. I know Jerry can stop me if I'm wrong. And then you get rid of host compliance, you have this platform that has that piece to it. So it's all together. Everything's all together, 17,000 for the course of the year. So you're really kind of apples to apples. You're paying the same, but you have a program that has the ability to go monthly when you decide to go monthly. You might go back and say, you know what, I'm tired of sitting in a visit SoCal meeting and everybody's monthly and we're quarterly. And you know what I mean? It's like, I want to see the numbers myself. I want to see what it looks like. You are already on the platform. You've already made that transition. And then from there, you can only go forward and continuing to invest in the program. That's another way to do it that helps kind of put everything all in one bucket, so to speak. Otherwise, you're going to pay $5,135 for host compliance annually that hardly does anything anymore. And I can attest to that because they don't send me anything anymore. And I bug them about it to get, you know, properties that aren't paying TOT. People that are buying houses and turning them into short-term rentals are right away coming into our office and signing up for that because that's a big deal. So we're not having to look for it as much. So if they're only paying or only charging 45 a property when they bring it to us, it just makes sense that we're a part of this whole thing with HDL, which is the name of the company that we're using. Anyway, that's just a thought.
I mean, we can cancel host compliance, right? Or okay.
I'm within that range right now where we renew every March. And so based on what direction you guys take today with that, I will call them and cancel that so we don't get dinged for not being timely to cancel, like a 30-day out cancellation is what I mean. So it's timely for that.
And we can also revisit host compliance in the future if we feel like there's okay. I mean,
they were kind of funny about, like, they're like, you know, if you're already going to be using this platform, you don't need us. Like, they're very like, we don't care. That's fine. They're a big company. Granicus has become very big. It's not, you know, we're not creating any issues there.
I mean, I think for me, I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, canceling host compliance and putting the brakes on this and saving 40,000 a year, you know what I mean? And maybe that becoming 2 or 3 more events or something else. So I think that's, even though I want monthly, I hate being in those Visit SoCal meetings, like you said, and not knowing how to compete with other cities. And I think that's worth a lot, but yeah, I don't know if it's worth 35. So I think for me, I say we put the brakes on this.
Put the brakes on the monthly and keep it quarterly.
Keep it quarterly and don't even do, I mean, just do what we're doing and not even go to this platform. I mean, if we're paying quarterly right now, we don't have the information. Why pay 17,000 to have the same information?
I think it's already done.
Yeah, we already did.
The platform is done.
Yeah, we already agreed to the platform. So your letters have gone out. So the quarterly piece of that has moved into this platform. Given that from the approval that we had done with getting on the platform, now we have the ability to get rid of host compliance. So that saves some money. So at the end of the day, you're basically where you would be. Like if you're paying city, if we rewind way back before we started HDL, you're paying city 83.33 or something like that a year.
I see what you're saying.
5,000 for host compliance. We've grown in the short-term rentals now to the point where I'm sure city, we'd have to go back and look at that number. We've already started this. So you're at 17, to me, you're at 17, regardless 17, we've already started this. You have the platform. Now it's like, keep doing what you're doing. We get people on the platform. And then if you ever decide to go to monthly, you have the ability to go monthly. So with that, Jerry, is that about right, what I just said?
Yes, I think so. I can't recall right now what the payment is for city. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's right around there. It's like,
I agree. You're saying here it's a little over 8 anyways. It was a little over 5 for host compliance. You're looking at almost 14. So we're looking at paying an additional 3,500 to move the platform and for everything to be the same.
So you have your quarterly platform already, and you have it already set up. It's already in place and electronically. And you're paying a little bit more for it, but not a whole lot more. And I don't know what it would look like for us to reevaluate where we are with short-term rentals and what the cost is to the city. We'd have to do that and come back with another number. But you're apples to apples almost with now a platform that can go monthly. When you decide that that's what you want to do, it's easy to do.
And just to, I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but like going back, I mean, when we initially approved this, I thought it was for monthly. Was I just mistaken at that time?
You were not mistaken at that time. It was for monthly. It was trying to transition to a platform that'll allow us that monthly billing. And what's happened since then is the dollar amount's gone up because of all of the short-term rentals. We've seen such a big increase with short-term rentals, from 119 properties to 153 right now. So we're increasing all the time, and they have dollar amounts with each one of them. So every time you increase an STR or a hotel, it has a dollar amount that gets added to that amount. So you're not like signing up for a flat fee. That fee continually evolves based on more short-term rentals coming to market and all of that. It was an approximate.
Okay.
I have a question. So
Sure.
the 35,000, the 17,000 is already part of that 35,000, correct?
Yes, I'm looking at Jerry. Yes. Yes.
Like, it's like we can take that part away. So really it's 18,000, but then if we take away the host compliance, that's another 5,000. So now we're down to what, 13,000. So it would be an additional 13,000 is really, you know, and rough change is really the number that we're adding. We're looking to increase in order to go monthly. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
You are right.
To me, that doesn't seem so bad.
I think it'd be more than that though, because I guess unless my numbers are messed up, I think it'd be more than that because we currently pay 8. It's 5 for host. We currently pay 13 right now for as it's always been, to pay quarterly.
But we already paid the 17,000, no matter what.
But so then if we switch, like this platform is going to take that 13.5 that we already pay for how it's always been, and we're going to pay 17,000, and we'll still pay quarterly. Is that correct or am I incorrect?
That is correct. So what we could do, I guess a couple questions that we would want maybe to do on this. We can have an ad hoc come back, work with us, with finance, with me on where we are with the cost of this program versus what we were doing, and then come back with more direction on this, but knowing that host compliance would pretty much go away because we've already started it. If you wanted to do like a comparison, we could bring it back to the next meeting to do that comparison. That's another opportunity. Or just keep kind of going with the HDL piece, see how it goes. And then Jerry, what is the cancellation with something like that?
Or HDL?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to check the contract.
Okay. Yeah, just that would be the part that we would have to look into more details on that too.
That sounds good because I'm with Trina. If it's 13, I mean, I'm on board. I think it's worth $1,000 a month for that kind of.
Yeah, it's like 3,000 a month is what it all breaks out to.
But that's, yeah, but my number's coming out to the additional like over 20,000. So I feel like we just need to see it.
So I think if we do a comparison and we come back with a little bit more details on what we've already invested, what we are looking to invest in order to go monthly, I think that would help me in wrapping my brain around it.
Sounds good.
I agree. Sounds like an ad hoc.
Defer to the chair. To Patricia.
I mean, I'm completely good with doing an ad hoc. I think it makes sense. And since we have so much that we're all questioning on this, so I mean, I'm on board with doing an ad hoc for this item specifically because I think we need to really look into it and see what works best.
Too much up in the air in order to say yay or nay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Do we need to open to public comment first, right? So are there any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? We went to public. No? Okay, so we can go ahead and close the public comment period. Any additional board comments that anybody's got? And then Amanda, can you guide me on this? If we want to do an ad hoc, what's the best way to, what do I need to do basically?
Certainly. So you can initiate an ad hoc, and you're welcome to ask the board if there's anybody that wants to be, or you can just straight up direct that if you're willing to be on this ad hoc, I would love to have this member and this member. So that's sort of the chair's discretion on directing that.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely would love to form an ad hoc. Is there anybody specifically that would like to be on it voluntarily?
Yeah, I'd be happy to be on this one.
Okay. And then if nobody else wants to, I'm fine with being on it as well, if everyone's okay with that. So Amar and I can take this one if you guys are okay with it.
I agree
do we
with
need
that.
to do a motion? Do we need to do a motion on the ad hoc, Amanda?
No.
Or how do we? Okay. All right. So we'll do an ad hoc committee of myself and Amar to review all this information and kind of make the best advisory decision for it. Do we need to do a motion past that if we're doing an ad hoc, or is that suffice this item?
You're good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. All right. So we can move on then to item number 5.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, Terry. You
Number
again.
5. Me again. Okay. Hold on 1 second here. Sorry. All right. So the scope of work, this is a formality. Basically thank you, Jerry, for everything. Jerry, I know she's probably hanging out through this. This is more of a formality for everybody, just kind of recapping what we're doing as part of administrative services for the TBID. I also wanted to let you all know that at any point you're not happy with the city performing the minutes and the agenda and organizing type of thing, you're more than welcome to go to RFP. And the RFP, again, if you're wanting to bring in a different entity to do that. And the reason why I say that is I was not intending to be competitive at all with anybody. I needed to bring back to you what the cost would have been for the city. I should have done it via a staff report, maybe not an RFP. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. It felt a little awkward, and I apologize on behalf of myself to the chamber, to you guys. It was more about trying to give you the information of what it costs for us to do the work. That's what you had asked us to do. So I literally did it that way. And anyway, at the end of the day, at any point that you're not happy with something, you can go back out to RFP. It will not hurt our feelings at all. So I want everyone to know that. That being said, this just recaps everything that we talked about. It's the scope of work is a flat fee. It's based on an average of 20 hours a month, but we're not tracking our time as far as that goes. All the communication and administrative support are there like they have been in the past. We'll do the ongoing administrative support that we outlined here, meeting coordination, whatever that might be, event coordination, whatever you need, and the cost summary is the $27,500 annual flat fee. That's going to be billed monthly. So this is basically making sure it's a receive and file. There's no motion or anything that needs to be done. We've already done all of that. I just wanted you all to know this kind of is the official working document that we have on file at this time. So that's all I have on this. And yeah, I don't know if there's any questions from the board.
Yeah, any board members have any questions for Terry at this time? Okay, so we can open up public comment. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? No, so we will close public comment. Any additional board comments?
Is it? I'm
Nope,
sure.
so we'll go ahead. Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure everything will be great, but if like you said, if we do want to go to RFP, is it like 30 days notice that we have to give the city, or do we just go to RFP and then?
Usually it's awkward because the city does the RFP regardless. So anytime, it doesn't have to be formal. Like, I mean, you would, I don't know, I might defer to Amanda on this, but you would just let us know, we would like to go to RFP, administrative services type of thing. We would put it on an agenda for everybody to vote to go to RFP, I guess, right, Amanda?
I believe so.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be, whether it would always be pretty much 30 days because you're saying it in a TBID meeting, and then we go to RFP, we need time to do the RFP, but yeah, it would be, we can do that. That's not a problem.
be the same like Big Red, right? Just 30 days notice and
30 days, just like anybody else, any other contractor or consultant. Absolutely.
Perfect. Any additional board comments? All right, I think we can receive and file this item and then move on to number 6, the marketing plan summary.
Okay, Ashley, I'm going to stop sharing so you can share.
Perfect. And Karina, I saw your chat, so I'm going to try to do this speedy for you and get it done quick because I know we're at 4:13. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Just confirm, let me know if do you see the full version or do you see it half and half? Curious.
Full version.
Okay, great. Just wanting to make sure. Okay, going in here. If I can know how to use there we go. All right, marketing recap. It's been a while since we have got together for the quarter. This is October, November, and December. We continued our local highlights program. We spotlighted some local businesses in those months. You can see that there with our local business spotlight and social media and social stories. We had our monthly email marketing program, our social content and implementation, as well as any content submissions for CCTC on your behalf. And then our fall campaign has launched. I'm excited to show you the videos today. And we finalized the marketing plan. So just as a reminder, in our last October meeting, I went over the general highlights of the marketing plan strategy. We reviewed all of that together. We take that, formalize specific tactics. That comes into a design plan. That's in your board packet. I'm not going to go through that a lot today because all of that had it all had your approval and review in October. This was just basically how we're going to get there. And so that's all in your board packet that you had today. So quickly, website metrics. Thank you, Google. They have a great new dashboard. It's called Google Data Studios. We're developing these really unique dashboards for all of our clients. This is for Visit Atascadero, where I can just auto-populate all of the Google Analytics. So this tells us all the different stats that we look at on a monthly basis. This is for the quarter, and it is based off of 2021 versus 2019, because our goal is to get to those pre-pandemic numbers. And so again, not too many big surprises. Last quarter, we were about 30% down. It's great to see we're about 7 and 8% down. So we're really getting closer and closer to those 2019 metrics. Overall page views are up. So people are coming to the website, going to more content. Average time on site is up. We have a quality visitor, which people are staying on pages and seeing more pages or viewing more pages each time they visit, which is, again, a quality visitation. You can see overall the location where people are coming from. No big surprises there with Los Angeles, San Francisco being the core paid media push. We did just start the campaign end of November into December. So it's about October, November, December, half of it had paid media turned on. So just know that too. I envision those numbers are those locations are going to shift and change. You can see we are mobile heavy on device. So it's important for us to know that as we make any updates to the site. And then of course our demographics. So you can see age and gender as well as traffic sources. So traffic sources, where are we getting our visitation? Organic search is a large part of our traffic, as well as direct. Direct does include our paid media campaign, referral from any of our partner websites, social, others. That's just kind of a collaboration of anything else that might have came from our email marketing campaign, or maybe it was from, finding us on a different site like Bing or whatever. So there's a lot of different ways of where that traffic's coming from and what's included there. Social media engagement. So Facebook, overall for the quarter, we were really high engagement and impressions and post links in Facebook. We've been trying to that was something that we've been tackling because we've had steady growth on Instagram. So as we look at that, we're going to continue wanting to implement the strategy for Facebook. We're seeing some really good results on that. Overall, our demographic, that 35 to 44 female audience tends to be our primary in Facebook, but definitely I would say 45 plus. We're really reaching those folks in that space. Top content, Zubu is a great content post. for October, we saw, we had this really great video in collaboration with SlowCal and their campaign. So that had really good traction in Facebook. And then, you know, a funny joke here and there always has good engagement too. So that's what you can see in Facebook for that quarter. So as I mentioned, we put a lot of effort this quarter in Facebook because we really wanted to ramp up Facebook. Instagram still saw some really quality traction there. Our impressions engagements are down slightly, but overall profile actions are up significantly. We want more and more. So Instagram now started including the link. We have the ability to include links in stories. So people have the option to click the link and get to our site that way. So all of those profile actions are actually quality engagements. So I just wanted to note that there, that we want them to do that. We want them to have more information. So again, the demographics, you can see a slightly younger audience. It's still primary female in that space. Top Instagram posts, definitely any events usually get some really good traction. We definitely saw that with Fall Fest. And then our Light Up the Tree was always a great post for this quarter. Email marketing, very exciting news. We had the highest open rate ever in December, 45% open rate. Industry average is about 20%. So to have 45% of our audience open our newsletter is huge. We are thrilled with the new layout. It's definitely showing that it's engaging. People are opening those email marketing tactics. So sent out 3 this quarter. You can see the stats there. We are up in subscriber base. So the goal for the year is 10%. We're up 5%. So it's great news. We're halfway there, but definitely want to see that grow. And we have some ideas on how we're going to do that. But really happy with the overall email marketing campaign. All right, for the fun part, Dina, you said it last time, you want to see more fun, cute stuff. So we're really excited. Oh, jumping in first, the marketing plan. I mentioned it. It's in your board packet. We take that document. That's kind of the guiding light for our team. Every member that works on anything for Atascadero has that to reference so that they know, all of those different channels, earned, owned, and paid. We follow that plan. Again, it was all shared with you in the October board meeting, but let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer any questions at the wrap up or end of today's presentation. Here's an example on the creative side of one of our business spotlights, Pair with Dead Oak, one of our favorites. It's been great. It's had some really unique and good traffic. You can see here what those stories look like. We always have some animation along with it, but those have been continuously really good spotlights for our local business community. We have new assets. So we have a collection of different images. This is all based off the new All In Atascadero campaign. We want a more raw, organic in style, meet the artisan, the crafters, the people behind the counter at those Atascadero businesses. So we featured a lot of really great locals. It's been a blast doing it. And we are seeing some really great results in paid, which I'll show today. But this just gives you kind of a snapshot of some of those alopecia. That was pretty incredible. Love seeing all of these new images and just the people of Atascadero. And I see there is a chat, but I can't open it. So if you have a question, oh, you gotta go. Okay, bye, Karina. Thank you so much. All right, here we are, the All In Atascadero campaign. So we developed there is now 3 15-second spots and a 30-second spot. You might know some of these lovely voices. They might be locals. But I wanted to showcase what we've got currently going on and what's going to be live on the website. We do have one of the videos, the 15-second, live on the website. That went up this month. So we're excited to have just that, again, consistency with the campaign coming down into our website. So again, they follow that traffic or that creative lead. So here's what this looks like.
We don't just serve it up. We roast it, distill it, brew it, craft it, crank it, bake it, make it, perfect it, cure it, paint it, live it, breathe it, and then we serve it up, all in Atascadero.
So I don't know about you, but we have been so excited because we've been working with you guys since 2015. We've been really resourceful as much as we possibly can, but this is the first time where we were able to do a big video shoot. We had the time and the process in place and all the resources to do it. We're so happy with how it turned out, and we're getting a lot of good traction with it. So that's kind of the 30-second spot. We have Tom O'Malley, who's our voiceover, but then we have another friend and another local for our 15-second paid media spots. It has a little different energies because we like to have different creatives run to keep things fresh every month. So this is one of our 15s.
We don't just serve it up. We make it. Roast it. Craft it. Live it. And then we serve it up. All in Atascadero.
Thank you, Jessica Sohi. So sweet. Again, it's been a blast. We love the campaign. We see so many new opportunities for this campaign. We are next step. So this rolled out at the end of November. We are working on a social component. We're working on custom frames. We want to do fun animation, stickers, kind of a whole new branded look to this. We think it's got a ton of energy. So we're really happy with the results. So overall paid media in this quarter, we had a little over 1 million impressions. So getting in front of a lot of people. We had 4,000 clicks. It only ran that little bit of November and into December. So I'm not too worried about that. I really see the next quarter being a lot more. And our click-through rate, usually a 0.2%. We're at 0.44% click-through rate, which is really great. And then we have blueprinting technology added this year. So what that means, anybody served our ad on a mobile device, if that mobile, and in our geolocation, so serving people in LA, San Francisco, Central Valley, if their mobile device comes in, we geofenced the city of Atascadero. If they come to Atascadero, it sends a ping to our media team that person has actually come to market. So we now track visits. So we had 197 in December where we served a creative set and their mobile device came into market, which is really exciting because now we actually know how are things performing. So this is really great technology that we have now at our fingertips. We're able to see even more, detailed out performance. I wanted to also mention this quarter, we had a partnership with Central Coast Tourism Council for Yosemite National Parks. We had a really great Yosemite Journal ad. I shared it in the October board meeting, and they did this amazing story on Atascadero, explored laid back side of California's coast in Atascadero. I encourage you, I'll send the link so you guys can take a look at it, check it out. Great write-up on our city. So also wanted to share quickly the November lodging performance report. So this is what I mentioned. We do get this from SoCal. So now that we have a consistent dashboard and more resources, I look at this and kind of see how we're tracking. I know that this does include now our new hotel. So those are going to inflate these numbers overall. But it's great to see. I look at 20 year over year, but really those 2019 numbers. You can see occupancy, we're up 4.5% occupancy from 19. ADR up 16%, RevPAR 21%. Supply, of course, is up 27% with the new hotel on board. Rooms sold up 32 and room revenue up 54. So I look at those and really that helps us determine kind of seeing how we're doing. It was a lot. I tried to get it done. Poor Karina missed it. I'm so sad, but any questions?
That November lodging report, that comes from the Star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's only hotels that are reporting to the Stars for that.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. It's great. I mean,
but it helps us give a kind of an insight. It's numbers at least to have that we look at on a monthly basis. And I think it's better than not having anything. So we look at that. But yeah, it's only those that report to Star.
Okay. I agree with you too. It's great to see.
Cool. Any other questions on the campaign, results, anything? All right, well, thank you so much. Always good to see your faces. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Okay. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? Probably not, but public comment closed. Any other board comments? Okay, so it's a receive and file. So thank you, Ashley. We appreciate it. We can move on to the budget overview.
Okie doke. So I will share my screen so you can see that. And all right, can everybody see that? Thank you. So this is just a recap. You all have it in your packets. Take a look at it. This is the overall, everything in here, including Verdun marketing dollars. So if you bring your eye to the year-to-date actual through 11/30/2021, obviously we're still collecting on the revenue, but you can see the actual 6/30 of 2021 as well, and then where we're tracking, and then the final columns where we're budgeted. Keeping an eye on the budgeted part with expenses, you can see where we've come through actual at the 97,913 and then 308,540. This is through November, so not including December, you're almost halfway there. But that gives you an idea of where you're spending and the tracking of where you spent prior year as well. So it kind of gives you guys a good gauge of where your dollars are. We can certainly break out the expenses category. We've talked about that before, but it is broken out as you go through all of your different pieces that follow. So do take time to look at it when you have time. And if there's any questions, you're more than welcome to call me and I will look into it for you and go over it with you, whatever you'd like to do. It's all there, and as I scroll through it, that's never fun. So I'm just going to go right to the marketing pieces, so you can see how the marketing's also tracking, and where we are through November anyway, because that's kind of in line with what I just showed you, and you can kind of do those comparisons. And then we also have our final TOT revenues that are reported here and where we are through July through September. We just filled out the second quarter, October through December. So this will be more updated on your next meeting in February. Any questions? I'm going through that really fast, but it is there for you guys to look through.
Any board member questions? Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item? No, we can close public comment, and then any additional board comments. So we'll receive and file and move on to updates. First is the Visit SLOCAL update with Camille.
Okay, hi guys. Let me just share my screen. Alrighty, so I'm gonna first start on giving a brief update on Restaurant Month, which is currently happening. So Restaurant Month is occurring the whole month of January, happening right now. We have 42 participating restaurants throughout SLOCAL, and the offers this year are including 3-course prefixed menu between $39 to $59 or 20% off the regular menu. And so these are the posters that we went with this year that we had our creative studio make for us, and all of the participating restaurants got the one on the left to put up in their windows. So that was exciting to see. And then here we have the landing page that we used the new assets for with all of the different listings. And then here you could see the restaurant individual listings, and you can click on the website and the menu to see what the different restaurants are offering. Okay, and then so as far as our paid, owned, and earned, we did do paid advertisements with KSBY, the Tribune, New Time Slow. We created that landing page on slocal.com that you guys just saw. We created 3 new Restaurant Month blogs to help promote this event. And then the Restaurant Month newsletter that went out, it's here on the right, and it had a open rate of 29%, which was really good for us. We did a social media strategy of doing different types of Instagram stories that then shot users back over to the landing page, which was really great. And then we also got a news feature in both KEYT and KSBY. So does anyone have any questions before I move on to SLOCAL Crafted? All righty, I'm going to move right on along. So SLOCAL Crafted, as you guys know, is our program that we're doing all year round to help celebrate and promote the different businesses that are creating products and services right here in SLOCAL. So we are still accepting these certified signups, and the main requirement for the certification is that the business must create uniquely products, experiences, and services that enhance tourism. So we've had some other people and businesses try and submit to Slow Cal Crafted Certified that didn't exactly fit in with the tourism experience. So that's what we're really going for. But we are accepting new signups. If anyone knows of any businesses that would like to sign up and become Slow Cal Crafted Certified, and any new signups are receiving a Slow Cal Crafted welcome package to help identify themselves as Slow Cal Crafted Certified. So along with the program, we are doing a video series. We're creating videos once a month with Acacia Productions to highlight the certified partners. And we just signed a contract with Acacia to create 10 more of these videos to be posted once a month through the end of the calendar year. So you can see on the right here that so far we have 4 posted on our YouTube, and that'll keep increasing throughout the year. And then, so those will be living on YouTube, and they're going to be featured on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And then with every video we create, we're doing a Slow Cal Crafters blog features for every business. And so that blog, you could see, has that video embedded right there in it so that it all lives in one spot. And that is it. But we are accepting new Slow Cal Crafted Certified partners. So if anyone has anyone interested, they can just go to our website and sign up right there. Any questions? All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Camille. Next is Ashley with a marketing update, but are we doing one? If you just did the whole presentation, it's up to you.
I was, or I know I was there in Zoom. It was a mix this time this month. Yeah, Terry, do we have any? I mean, we got kind of the overview. Thank you, Camille. I think that you gave a great update on the overview of what we discussed. I know we have our marketing retreat coming up, so more to come on that. I know that you guys are talking about events and festivals, strategy, all that good stuff.
That's coming up too. We had the keychains come in. I apologize, I don't have a sample of them. They were distributed out at the Tamale Festival. Those are the all-in hotel keychains that you all approved for the swag. So those were out there. We have the palette of the yellow and the baby blue keychains. So what I'm thinking is getting them out to all the hotels to give to their people as they come in. That might be kind of a fun thing. So expect that in the weeks to come, like the week of January 31st. I don't think I can drop some off to you that fast being out tomorrow, but anyhow, yeah, but that's here, and it has a story behind it. The way it was taped and the way it came over, we thought it was a package. So we ended up letting our team go home like 30 minutes early on New Year's Eve because it was to someone else in a different department. And the way it was taped shut was like, it looked like it was a package that would have a bomb in it. It was our keychains. So there's the story behind that.
I heard, and I'm so sorry, Terry.
I haven't thrown away the boxes. I'll share that next time. Anyhow. Yeah, and I think we just put that as like, if there's anything additional you want to add, Ashley, on the marketing update.
I think that's good. Thanks, Patricia.
Perfect. All right, Terry, you want to do the city business and admin update?
So city business and admin update at this point, I don't have anything to add. We just went through our 6th annual Tamale Festival with our fireworks show, and we had over 50 vendors out there. We really had a tough time this year because of COVID and Omicron and everything going on with that. But the event really went super well. People were very respectful, a lot of good entertainment. So we're excited that that event took place. And I don't know if you all had visitors to your hotels, but we certainly had a lot of people visiting from everywhere, from Sacramento, San Diego, Fresno, all over the place. So on the visiting side, that event definitely pulls in some folks, and we'll have more numbers next time. But that's all I have right now.
Perfect. Do we have a chamber and bid update?
I don't think we have, Josh, at this time. What I can talk about really quickly is they're going to be doing the Sweetheart Stroll again for Art, Wine, and Brew on February 11th. That event is taking place. You can get your wine tickets at atascaderochamber.org. We also have the link on visitatascadero.com under Sweetheart Stroll for that date. And then also they had a great success with the Atascadero Wine Festival Passport. So they've launched a new passport for the year, and we will, Josh has had requests to come back and talk about that in the February meeting. So that way he can kind of report out on how successful it was and its sales for 2021 and what they're looking at for 2022. And that's all I have for that.
Perfect. Thank you. Do we have any board member comments at this time? We'll move on to just board member comments.
I think I just want to throw in that, again, I'm continuing to be amazed by the events, Tamale Fest being one of them. It's always been a cool event, but just how you've grown this event, Terry, I'm blown away. And we are seeing out-of-town guests.
Hey.
Yeah, so I feel like you should know that.
Thank you.
And I mean, now that we're seeing out-of-town guests and things like that, I mean, does Visit Atascadero market that, or are we going to look at Visit Atascadero to market it more in the future? I mean, it's always kind of a weird one because it's like, that's a local event. Why are we marketing? What are we doing? But I mean, now that we are seeing how the way that you've grown that event,
yeah,
seems like it's justified for Visit Atascadero to do more with it.
That'd be great. And I'm not looking for any sponsorship dollars.
I know, I was hesitant because of that, but anyway, the truth is the truth. So.
No, it's a flagship event for all of us. And I feel like it's, we're in it together to really make it, you know, bigger. And now that we're back, it's exciting to have that event come together. It takes everybody, including all of you with your hotels, because you're braced for it. And we've had, I mean, everyone, volunteers, community, public works, PD, fire, everybody is just on it with this event. So it's exciting to see it come together. And what's even better is when you're taking a video from Sunken Gardens and you listen to people, it's like, oh my God, they're like, ooh, ah, you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. Just to hear how happy people are. So it's nice to have that.
And Amber, just a quick note on that too. So I actually had talked to the team with the All-In campaign. We are trying to figure out a way of how we utilize that for signature events. So we're working on a strategy, but we think that there's potential. We do always market the events in our email marketing campaign. We always make sure that that's noted. Any signature events are there, always on the website. Of course, Terry always makes sure that those are there. Social media, we always promote, but we do think that there's some paid that we can do in the social space as well. And we want to develop kind of a, you know, a strategy around what does that look like and how do we customize that for like maybe the 5 signature events. And then we can kind of wrap that out roll that out in 2022.
That sounds good. I mean, as being someone who's been kind of hesitant and like questioning with some of those events, like it very clearly is growing and succeeding. So I feel like, yeah, we should support it more. And yeah, I just
Thank you.
Yeah.
Perfect. Any additional board member comments at this time?
I just want to say we had a whole bunch of people stay here at the Carlton that thoroughly enjoyed themselves at the Tamale Festival. I saw them over there dancing and having a good old time. So thank you, Terry.
You're welcome. That's good to hear.
Perfect. So I think we can move on to future agenda items. Are there any board member requests for changes or addition to the future agenda item list that they provided us with?
For February, just to kind of note, I think what we'll definitely bring back the Visit SlowCal events and festivals, memorandum of understanding agreement. What are we calling it? It's a commitment to collaborate. We'll bring that back in February. So number 2, and then definitely the Lakeside Wine Festival 5, follow up on the Garage East Festival number 6, and then the new ad hoc, bringing that back on TOT billing summary. We don't want to lose sight of that. So just with those items, you'll have a full meeting I'd like to spend some more time on the budget and talking through where we're at with things too, to make you guys all feel comfortable. So we would probably put number 1, 3, and 4, we'll keep it on our list. So, and anything you guys want to add, but that's what we'll be looking at for February.
Perfect. Any additional comments on that from the board members? No. All right, then I think that means our meeting's adjourned, right?
Yes, only one more thing. So the
All right.
general strategic planning is set for January 28th with City Council. So pay attention to that agenda that comes through. They're going to talk about the general plan and economic development. And so I want to make sure you all are aware of that. Whether you choose to attend or not is up to you. And we can wrap that into that economic development update maybe in March when we've come back from strategic planning and all of that. So just want to make sure I say that for January 28th. And now I'm done. Sorry.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Terry. Then I think we are good and we are adjourned.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.